507 Aurora Avenue, Washington 133. I've been by gators repeatedly here, and I'm washing my backpack. It's not pleasant to wash here. There are actually people here that have been threatening me and targeting me for 13 years. And it's serious threatening, and they're actually threatening me with slavery, rape, and I've actually been stream casting. You can actually hear some of them. They hide in an area, I guess it's a crawl space, around this area, closet and wall, and then there's an allegedly empty janitor's room, and then in apartments on the left-hand side of the smoking area. Now, people have also dumped toxins in my water. The microphone was left open to play Lisa's Crazy, such as to invade my privacy. It's supposedly, there's illegal surveillance here. I think I'm going to take my backpack and go down the hall. I'm going to set up emotionally, or five things, But the cuts, the members sprinkled repeatedly, spilled glass, and allegedly one of the dirty cops is here, and he was allegedly this morning, and also so there's no normal, and there's no normal, there's I got cut off with the broadcast, trying to find something in the backpack, and where is it coming from? I can't figure it out. Watch. But they're all retarded backpacks. I've left off on getting them. There's a 507 Aurora Avenue, North Seattle, Washington, 98130. You're going to hear people, they're nonsensical, they're trying to activate. To do something to get away. So they're being shooter. Actually came out. And they're in on smear. I pay for storage because why would you want to live again. And they also, and I hear somebody else shouting in the hall, and they're going to be on video. I do believe that you're a bum. Oh, one of the best already blew up that committing murders, because then you can, then they effectively commit, and then they can conduct the crime after they you. She's a rapist. Shut up. You're just a bum. Okay. Yeah. And the cop, if it is a cop, guess what? He's acting illegally. So, do you think I can talk to a cop? He's off jurisdiction. I was paid. And so, you know what that means? He was admitting to, the don't work. So, one of the Hi, this is Lisa Guthrie. I'm at 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington, 98133. And the neighbors, including their friends, and it's supposedly a real cop from 13 years ago. He's a bum. He's in with gang members. He's actually led a witch hunt against me for 13 years with Officer Bobby, who also comes here illegally out of precinct. Officer Bobby is. And this one is not on duty, but he confessed bribe. They pay. Everybody's a freak, and a woman named Anna on duty, she just played cripple her. So she's in on it. They're all in Washington, not one normal person. And they all took a fall with Satan years ago, 12 to 13. And they're all insane. One of the bums, I'm under illegal surveillance, and they bragged. One of the bums said, "Quick, go put in it." And another bum on this remove things, and one getting a. And now, what happens if you anger a gang member? What they'll do, they'll actually pass your key out 3,000 times, and you make your life. Could you imagine, or even more, 10,000, could be more. And they actually and pretend that they're, your relatives, an investigation. And they, you don't know what a stranger is going to do. I mean, they raped children or raped people. They may have killed someone. One of these bums here is portraying that I did something to, quote, Kathy's boy. I don't think Kathy had a boy. That's Kathy Cox, I think, of Burt Gillis Apartments. And so she hung up a story about a boy. I was gang raped 13 years ago at Tri-Court, and then the gang members pretended that that I was a whore. They'll even administer illegal rape drugs, and also if you're like asleep, you might be injected, you might be given something that makes you orgasm. The black Nazis are very much in on this, and so are the Bloods, and they're also Satanists. They sacrifice animals, sacrifice people. They're definitely in on human sacrifice. They're in on cannibalism. Do like to play with their own urine, fecal, and phlegm, and other bodily substances, like menstrual blood. If they put that on you or on your things, they think that, oh well, ordinate to them, you're defiled, you're the whore. In reality, they're just gross people that did that to you. It's not your fault. You didn't do that. And just like if a person or another being is created by these dirty filth, filthy things, the people are the filthy things that are consecrating, not the victim. And one of their favorite redundant themes is hurting or harming the innocent. And one of the whores is in the wall. I just heard her necklace clang different. She's carrying chains, which to me, he's here, and at least 1 to 2 security guards from the Pike Place Market are here, and it's Pike Place Market Development Authority. I had to go downtown today. You know, of course, there's big hits on me, but of course, I had to be ready for anything, including a 6-foot-tall, creepy black Nazi at the end of this tunnel, or some whore in the tunnel. It's this little tunnel because of the construction. I had to be ready for anything. But everybody's a dirty zombie here. And I'll tell you the things they're chanting today. Maybe chanting it obsessively lately. Linda, Glenda, Nunce. And I'll teach you a code. The gang members use code. And there was a bum. He works in the dollar store. And he was threatened. Dollar store member. And the gang member said, "What did you do to her? She was prettier." And he said, "We used mustard." And you're like, sprinkling glass on me. And so literally thousands, tens of thousands of people in an area, 20,000, 100,000, 1,000,000 people can be in on the trust, because there are a lot of bloods. And so this was the dollar store, you just found it's a little 45th, 44th, 45th area, and it's a little the mustard. Well, what did the other one say to that? He said, "I wanted to know because we know dairy." He was people that he didn't rejected him, and they talked in code about mustard and dairy. And I told the police about the codes under their nose, and the reason why they didn't do it is because they're all involved. The police department for 13 years, they've even pretended that investigating, or like their whore and bum friends were investigating. It's typical for them to use been declared also, other real cops. It's very popular within a gang, actually. Real fake plan, someone in the medical, and then even a garbage collection person. Also, if you have a garbage, you have the danger earlier. Well, what do you have with a garbage? They fix things. Most apartments have a maintenance man on will fix. 13 years ago, 13 years also, and unfortunately they took. And there's a zombie in the plane. If you be a zombie here via ESP, attack. And he also comes here illegally. Retarded son who's in his 20s comes here. And officer, note the words west. This is no. You go by precinct. Really supposed. Well, he's not allowed to sling around rooms, any more than these people are allowed. I don't know. I'm bothered by the fact that just sort of something else I could watch too. Alleged cop, and authority. LaSalle is an apartment building, chanting and threatening and yelling threats about and a male today, the guy, he was part Asian, and he was very disconcerted because these bums advertised me illegally. Back here, bums yapping now. If you enhance the sound, take out my. I've got a lot of stuff on the table. Back and I get the retardo. He was threatening me, including for the last 13 years. They'll take your identity, including parts of the mail. Oh, maybe you'll sign something that's false. Walk around. Also, they'll do it online. It's like, let's say you have a cold, you went to the doctor, you didn't feel good, you fell down, and they'll mix and merge with a psychotic, deranged child molester. Oh wow, he so, and then distributed the. It looks like you're that sick. One of the is crippling. I also like to curse. So the couple actually that threatened sort of split into EJ's Burgers is going to have a slave, and then either he or the proprietor, one of them said, yes, which would take me home, and that I'd be there, with a demolished house at the very least, or a demolished vehicles, letting the horses out of the barn, and maybe mowing down the barn with a tractor, mower, whatever I could find, golf cart, you name it, truck, and if I have to, I'd start a flood, plug up the toilet, cat litter everywhere. There will be house destruction, and some of these people are going to get kicked out of their apartments from that, or like the houses, or even a condo, you can get kicked out. So if if somebody's couch goes bare, or a table, or even luggage, in which could happen, 10th floor, whatever floor, even 3rd floor, 2nd floor, somebody's going to get in big trouble. Also, he was told off in a subtle manner. There was just heads stolen, if you believe in psi, and they made like a UFO. And they're blowing out back. They're playing just UFO, and that was head. Blow out back. And you are blah blah. People fortunately are dying, and one of them's playing William. William is addict maggot that is Cox's. Oh, they're playing another one. Any money? Do I know them? No. The relationship is the dresser. They're all bumps. They just took chest. Pay them. No. I'm going to guarantee I'll get them kicked out of anything they have. Even if they live in a trailer, I'm going to get that trailer demolished. And a bum is, it's Cox. And her whore here, she's from 5100 30th Avenue Northeast, Seattle, Washington, 913. William Smith, the ugly, and she's white, he's black. The whore granddaughter is black, half whatever black. And this thing is white, Catholic. They're all shit, basically, all the way back. And so you're not going to have a situation. And then there was another bum. I was like, I'd eaten maybe a part of my lunch, and I was trying, some paperwork, and it was together, and I was just, in a hurry, a breath, and then he was with, I think he said hit, and servant for, I knew, turned around, I gave him what for, and I told them both off. And I heard him as he walked, you even have a car, I'll drive it through your drive it through the barn, I'll drive it through your garden. I'll drive it into the pool. And the dirty cops and the dirty security middle tricks, like pretend they were legally committing me with a bunch of heroin whores. And that's what the dirty Seattle Police Department has done. They team up with bags and they pretend that it's like they're glossy of people. You know what? Something's trying to want to wash my way or my bags. And watch out. I have to listen for who's going into that room. They threatened to put 3. I'm at 507 Aurora Avenue, North Seattle, Washington, 9133. Oh, these bums that are trying to harm me also have had people try. And one of the whores just chanted the floor with, "Can you take Lisa's possession item?" She does. Am I afraid of gang members? No, I'm not. Lisa Guthrie, my apartment number and listed it as her apartment to pay the rent. And when I told on these bums, so what's the alternative? You may to kill you sneakily then. Showing them. I'd rather enter this room, portray that it's empty. Oops, I'm going to need a key for this. 20 minutes for that. Let's hope this works. And 19 minutes. So here's the empty janitor's office. Sun hangs out in there, and allegedly, you could hear, and then somebody shouting a threat. He might have done it in the form of a code. So 20 minutes. Insane asylum patients, and they didn't count on me. This is what I carry. And because I have to carry wipes, sperm. Now, I don't think I triggered this. And they'll put sperm and feces, and they've been bragging. And here, 3, and they're all night long. And took hand. So they were targeting. If you believe in chakras, what they're doing with them is trying to target. So this is Lisa Guthrie. I have to re-identify myself. I apologize, but once you lose the CameraFi broadcast, you don't know where it's starting again. And I'm at 10507-8133, and I'm in Unit 329. And I'm in the janitor's room that's located here. One of the whores, she's clanking a chain, and she's actually in the closet. They were starting to break at least 3 years ago. I'm busy gang thing. I also haven't had 2 weeks. Not that I'm vain since I've been scratched by the neighbors. They've sprinkled my apartment, sprinkled me wherever I go. And allegedly, Officer Bobby put that uterine and chakras. They'll try to into a curse, but they basically have cursed everyone in this, and they've cursed themselves playing me. Very scarred for cursing me and for sprinkling first. You're all retardos, and I want you to see your ancestors. They're playing restaurants. They like to play. We're open restaurants. We're taking you to pieces. Guess what just happened? So you just fed the other zombies. And do I zombie cannibalism? No, but they do this. And so they basically cursed themselves out of it. They portrayed me as Satan. Cox, I believe she's still here as well. To my dinner. I should wait because I have to be able to pray. Bums playing false go-aheads, 826, back and heads. So false go, there you, and eliminated. Done with every current property. They were boasting that they were trying to sell me. And so they will play aren't legal in the U.S. and they didn't want them getting out to all uterine again, such as they like to Officer Bobby and then pretend I was crazy. And so this also years ago he taught people to insert them into normal conversation or just when I called 911. The microphone was even left open and also, as a privacy invasion to scare me and terrorize me over the microphone. And so janitors' walls or people, once a dirty cop has targeted you, you will be targeted forever. I was a prostitute, so then they go around telling everybody you're a prostitute, you're a drug addict, you're not a prostitute, you're not an alcoholic. When actually, I learned something about gang members. They are, they're playing blah, 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 except apology. Just shut your yaps. I've learned something about gang members. What they accuse you of is actually one. It's a very famous, and it's true. So let's say gang members they portray my children, well, they are in on 50 visible humans, and I say visible because they're in on 50 visible, probably Europeans and British people and Irish disappear. A lot of them in this country. I think all of them, and you might say, well, how's the black Nazi fit in there? Well, they have all these that just don't give a damn. They, they want people who, they just care about the property. I'm talking about him. He's in with Kardashian, and he's the place market security guard, and he snuff movies. They're British people. Head, by the way, my head. And so they've done a long, drawn-out snuff movie with me, sacrificed, and some of them my junkie, retardo, crackhead, meth head, fake policemen there. They were trying to do white slavery or other slavery, and including like sacrifice and snuff movie types. But Satanism, I actually heard them doing their satanic ceremonies at after hours apartment, tri-court. So I would say anybody who covered up for these bastards, they're a zombie. They died anyway 13 years ago. There is a bum in the plane. Oh, and one of the bums was bragging about absolve. He said, you're going to absolve all of it. No, I'm not. And the thing is, that's how they used me. They portrayed me as the one who did it, and I'm not. The good around, and they tried to turn the profane around. And they've even religious power and religious pain, and we won't even go into that. It's just too horrible. And one of them's still yapping, and they're in. They'll also cover up for old murders. So, let's say they know the child murder pornography 50 years ago, and the guy's dog old now that did it, or his grandma did it, or his mother did it, or whatever. The murders as well. High Place Market, which I bought essential oils today at Tensing Momo. They're all crazed freaks, so they're all zombies. But everybody there is. I forgot one thing actually. They're playing dog blah. Officer Bobby lovers with the two police or fake police officers, of two of them at least, security guards, and then the mind of the murderer today, and why they have now. I was, well, you know, even a gay guy is more macho than these guys. These bums mean for 13 years had an ideas from the spirit, and they've stolen also through ESP an actual physical component. Like, let's say they take a crystal from your head and pop, and then it hurts. It feels like your brain's like, but nobody on within a and yes, there was a chest blow up. There, excuse me, I have to curse them. Now, what else? I'm trying to remember when I was doing laundry. And they just, see, I think it's safer actually for me, before the laundry. It's important for me to have the laundry. It's a good thing. They're playing broken. One of the horses talking about only will these bums smear things. They're dump down meth residue from a meth lab to punish people that the gangs have targeted. And these bums in the U.S. have also they will actually try to infect you with diseases, and some of the diseases they threatened me with were like Ebola. Chest tearing. And so a whore also was just saying, Lisa may have broken a fever. It might be a code for something else, but try to infect me with a disease that makes you deathly tired. With pneumonia, and there's a bum playing blah, blah, blah princess. So what they'd like to do is, like, they'll make the victims as ugly as possible, and if these look much better and smarter. Can't bathe properly. Like, I still bathe, even though I bathe. And I refuse to stop. And they've bragged that they have gone poodle. And he, in on animal sacrifice, they, like, one of them was animal blood. They had in my water and other people's water. What's the premise? Cursing you. Victims think you did it, and they come after you. And usually no. Bum playing question Bill as he took hit. Laundry in their laundry now, and they put in the water and urine in the dryers, and then also would radiation that they've put on my in my apartment, or cultures like germ culture. But they're still not very smart because it's still an apartment. They come in actually in the daytime. I was here 3 days and I realized they entered. A bum is playing obey old man. They're pretending they have permission and blah 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 Sunday. They'll have me stayed, I would go in and sorry for myself. And the thing is, even though I'm scratched, these are all zombies. I don't give a damn about their opinion. I'm going to demolish those women's apartments, you ugly bitch. I'll flood the bitch. So, you're going to end up homeless because I'll demolish all their clothing and all their possessions. Probably 3 of them, and there's one named Marie. She's an ugly thing that looks like hair. She has light skin, and she's too fat for her kind of. She wears little sort of outfits that her figure. It doesn't look like it's a retro. It looks like an old sped that doesn't know the years, and she's wearing it accident that she gives off. And she thinks she's an artist, and she a wispy doll-like figure over and over badly, and then artist tried to have me enslaved. Artos are actually going to get arrested. And it's important to note that if someone has to have a slave, if they have money, then he's saying you owe money. No, you ugly creep. And where they're from? Nazi creep. And he's a Nazi fucker. And he's got sort of a reddish cast to his hair, snub nose. He's pretty ugly. And so it's a second floor, I think. They're playing Throw You Up, uterine, and they're playing Throw. The thing is, hi, this is Lisa Guthrie at 105, and I was talking about how the retarded bums are threats. They're also the security guards that hang out, and they were threatening me, and they were saying, I'm slamming the door because they're mad, and they were threatening me with slavery for some of the excrement here, the women. And remember, models of what? Zombies? You're all zombies worldwide. You use my chakras, you get cancer. He was playing throwing up your uterus. Like, I'm eating you. So the nasty black Nazis and the other crap, it doesn't mean they're playing you've been snapped. But can you guess? And would I eat them and they're playing hand, they're playing slightly. And all of you who ate me get cancer. And now the thing is, they've put themselves on, and will I be a slave for these ugly dogs of the building? No, I'm telling you, they're going to be very sorry. All day for you. And that's Stephanie, an ugly, smelly hooker, and hideously. She's what you're going to do, ugly bitch. You're going to get those ugly bitches in some pretty serious trouble. I was evicted and arrested. They have any rights here, and he doesn't have. So you're going to get your shit ass, and I will run the water and maybe start smoke, and then this has to come. Then a whore can explain there was a flood and the fire department had to come. And then the other people that they've threatened me with, it's an other one tried to hit me and said, you're going to know because I'm going to hit him back. And I'm not going to let him unpunished. I'm going to get him committed, arrested, and I do hit back. So let's say a whore, not a slave, I'll hit her if she won't be my slave. Well, I'll hit that whore. I will. So if you want a window that's broken, and that's another thing I'll do. I can break the windows. And with the broken window, you're not going to live here or anywhere. And do you know how easy it is to break? It happens. There's at the very least you could throw a pan through it, and set the smoke detector on the toast. Somebody dropped the toast on the stove. Well, here goes the smoke. And I complained about that whore named Maria. And by the way, if she needs a slave, she is anyway. So I think I have to check. This one is now being moved. So, 7 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington, 98133. You can hear them in the background, and they're all morons, and they're threatening me with human slavery, and they're going to lose everything. I'm telling you, if someone tries to hold me as a slave, I will demolish an amazing meal, like eating you. Eat you from the inside out, even if you ate me 13 years ago. And I'm every poison. There's UFO. And there's a bum, a retarded, an ugly old man. I think it is with the white hair, fringe of hair. It's about 5'10". He will actually lead to the destruction and downfall of anyone who tries to approach me or grab me, and then the person grab, have them committed, arrested, or worse. And that's just one. I will defend myself. And they're very retail, be destroyed. Mind you, the here is in on all this, so is Dr. Jaffe. Seattle Police Department's in on it. So they're threatening me with slavery. Am I going to do it? No, I will demolish the life of the person. They try to have me, and I'm going to demolish these bastards. Like I said, Mary is a retard, and I'm going to get her committed or arrested for being a retard. She can't actually live on her own. She's too retarded. Well, Mary's too retarded too. They're all. Kathy Cox was threatening. Mary Gilman Place Apartments. These people are all too retarded to be in their own apartments. And beat you. I'm going to beat you back. Tournament, and one of the bums about snuff moves. Yeah, you know what? You're going to get beaten back. Ugly, retarded old man, 5'10", like the alcohol syndrome. I'm at 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington. Trying to terrorize me via the open window and with slavery. One of them's playing abduction. One of them earlier was talking about the stairs somewhere, or to sneak me. Here's what they tried to pretend normal. So the bums will portray that you owe money for everything, including walking, moving, sleeping, and they're playing oral. And I'm not going to play your game of bitches. I'm just oral sex. Nobody wants you. I'll fight you. And I will have you committed and arrested. Other people get other people committed and arrested. I'm going to get you committed. They just took chest. I heard the sound of a cat. Somebody's threatened me. So they've threatened to kill kittens. I just heard somebody within the wall, possibly, and a cat. And they're playing eat, blah, 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 blah. How's your grannies? Turns out your granny was hiding as a kitten. So I might have heard a cane. They've threatened me with cats. So the Seattle Police Department is animal sacrifice, and it's a tri-court, and it's then it's two guys from the LaSalle, and it's the Pike Place Market Development, and it is Society of Horses and Bums, and they're all people who have no legal for me, and also they are in crimes. They took a lot of chest. And They're playing Bargain. So it's emotional black country. No, I'm not. Am I going to be a whore because they say, well, we're going to torture your grandma? Am I going to stop eating because they say we tortured your grandma in the spirit world? No, they've been torturing for 13 years. I can't see the invisibles as well as they do. And also, I'm not a gang member. I'm not in the wall with a visible cat being sacrificed. I didn't do it. I'm not going to, quote, obey you ugly bitch. They're playing your obey as your ancestors. And so these are ugly, retardo black Nazis. There are no whites, and they were reprogrammed by black Nazi crap and drug addicts. And 13 years ago, I tried to starve, or 12, I tried to starve myself. But the thing is, it didn't do anything. And then I tried to starve myself, obey to, quote, save. You're going to go to hell. They're playing Johnson. And so this is possibly the creep from the police department that was shouting, one of them. So he had people sacrificing animals. They're playing whole thing all day. The whore is saying, I pinched ass. She pulled it. I'm going to show you your ancestors with when you did that to the cat. Look at the floor, invisible. Put their ancestors in all animals that are sacrifice victims. Anyone in the cattle industry that needs to be butchered so people can have meat, put their ancestors in. So any animal that is ancestors in it, stick them in it. I've tried to do that before. That's very difficult because they actually will put curses to keep the demonic behavior going on and on. So I've tried to save animals, and they'll put curses on the animals. Just acts the same. We're so funny. So Kathy Cox is actually, and they're playing maid. No, I'm not going to be a maid, and they just took hand. So they've sacrificed 4 cats lately. The cops, Officer Bobby, and the guy from Tri-Court 13 years ago are involved. I also found a finger, and it was outside my door, but I was so traumatized that I actually didn't do anything, and it just sort of, what was not like a fresh finger anyway, and I just kept looking at it without going near it, but I was so in shock and I was being poisoned. I just sort of looked at the finger, just couldn't believe it, and I didn't, I was being poisoned and drugged, and I just, it just stayed there for a while. And one of the whores played, it was a European peasant. Some of the dog butt Nazis and whores, dog butt whores in the U.S. like to refer to people as peasants, including me. And these are people that are garbage all the way back to their DNA, at least 10 to 12 generations. Oh, one of the morons said we also did lilting of the police department portrayed me as crazy if I wanted to fight it. Portrayed. I think, well, they've also, of course, sacrificed people and beings in the spirit world over and over. I'd like to know where the child is that they sacrificed. They think there's a child maybe nobody knew about. The black Nazis are very much into that conspiracy where, well, they'd like to make people bear their children. And they're the scum of the earth. Nobody wants them. And they want to capture Europe and bum playing, by the way, Italy, blah, blah, blah. And so they've also done, so they want to have women forced into bearing their children. And see, what is happening is, that's another promotion of the scum of the earth. And just like Satan promoted scum, America promoted scum. Satan loved it. Everybody was getting inferior and was inferior. What a great grip he had. And then it's sort of like this worst semen in the world, the worst seed in the world, the worst eggs in the world, they're seeking to breed. It seems like that's, look at your crack whores. They couldn't wait to get the worst semen. They couldn't wait to, they have their eggs. They want to put them out there, a lot of them. And, it's the worst DNA in the whole world, basically. So probably the worst in any planet. So one of the bums was actually bragging about killing a child. So somebody, I've heard it before, that they have a connection with a real child. Now, when you have someone in the spirit world that you're torturing, it doesn't mean it's fake. Now, they are targeting animals, and so they've done lately. Not just. Maybe 10 or so. And wound. For painkillers, and they just tore chest and belly. So mirrors illegal to kill. Go around killing visible people, and it's just not legal. Like some of the spirits were like, "Why didn't you kill them? It's not legal." Hardos, even when they tried to prostitute me, they cooked up big stories and pretended I. One of the horrors is, I think he's mispronouncing, medic. Cry here, and you might say, well, why didn't you go rescue it? I can't. See, they took my chakras, they took my spirit, soul, my aura, and I've had to put up my favorites. They'd also, let's say they took the cat, sacrifice the cat, bite me or suck my blood. I'm not kidding. In the spirit, the cat will be. So, they're evil, gross people, and market, by the way, a while. Go on Facebook and, because I'm, by the way, there have been a lot of chanting spirits they've been using lately. Now, the bum is playing me. So the bums have tried to tie me up every way, like illegal surveillance. She's even under illegal audio. So we can see the invisible, so we're going to get her. So they're playing, which might not be a Sunday radio, and one of them there are dirty guards. Two of them. I'm drinking my coffee. Now, she's pulling on the cat. That's the sound you do. Bum playing getting a G with the car, rolls over whoever wants to. You're not going to have a slave. Goes out the window. I will, and you might say you're threatening me with slavery. And it's an ugly retardo. And pulling on cats and sacrificing, cats and people, you're still not going to get me as a slave. Do I want him to sacrifice the cat? He was also doing etheric body threats and threatening slavery because I dared to eat. I've actually, when I lived at the LaSalle, what I was going to say, that was at the Pike Place Market. Well, I had a Facebook page, and I had endorsed anti-animal cruelty. Well, when I got to the market, Dan and Joe's Meat seemed to be after me, trying to catch me and play the Lisa's Crazy game, we're going to catch you, but we'll pretend you're crazy. And so I was surrounded by bloods, and they were trying to harm me, and there's a bum playing doctors. They're playing arranged doctors. Actually, your doctors are going to end up committed and arrested or worse, aren't they? And he was talking about something before then. He's playing circumcision. So, ugly bitch, illegal for commit surgery on you if you think it's do it to you. Would you like me to do that to you? I will. They're playing as soon as, and they just opened my chest and they took, as soon as they opened their, I'd open a chest for them. So, and Fish Market, which has that, was so cute when I lived there. Oh, and a bum's playing Italians about them. They're not Italians. They're just, nobody left in America. They're all zombies. They call people by Italians would be a favorite of mine. Europeans, and they also themselves as the names of people they have actually been in on hurting. So they're missing Europeans. Probably Dan Joe's markets are. Market. A couple of these people, one of them just threw a hand. If you think you're going to cut off my hand, hey, it's legal for me to do it. It's legal for me to do it to you. If you think it's legal for me, or you to do it to me, it's legal for me to do it to you. And so am I going to let an ugly bastard threaten me, and he's playing New York, obey New York? No, I'm not playing. And they threaten me with, and you might say, you're a terrorist. No, they're threatening me with kidnapping. And they threaten me with small planes, too. And they're playing couple might cut your hand off. Cut off. I've got to get to, and they're playing non. And they're playing guinea pig. So you can guess what they're probably throwing. A retardo is guinea pig, slave, and threatening me. No, I'm not. But if they put me in a vehicle, so I heard one of the morons chanting guinea and dryer room open. It's making a rattling. I heard one of the bums opening the door and guinea pig. So, hi, this is Lisa Guthrie. I was just at the washroom, and one of the bums, well, I actually heard somebody possibly open the dryer, your stuff, because these bums will actually found won't keep anything in the cupboards anymore and give anything that's suspicious, like a human or whatever looking. So I don't want things that's serious. But I was saying up the cat's something, and she pulled the cat's leg. Also, I went by the allegedly empty janitor, and you could smell the retarded hooker in there, one of the hookers. It might be Stephanie now, and she smells like urine. And she smells worse than urine. We won't go into detail. Talking about Dan and Joe's and then the fish market. Well, anyway, talking actually about the market people, and a couple of the security are here today. You know, I can't always tell which whores, by the way. They're here illegally. Pike Place Market, like all those cutesy, horrible throwing people, they're actually ruthless zombies, and dead market people are ruthless zombies. I think they were in on missing pets and missing people. And one of the whores told me here that she was in on cutting people, and the gang members like to call people different names, so you don't, or only call things and not. It seems to make more sense than people, places, or things, because an animal's not a person. So I developed the phrase things and not things. I read all the time. But anyway, so that's part of my personality. I'm not bragging. But anyway, Dan and Joe's, I had this feeling they were in on. I think I heard possibly a dog having some sort of thing they did to him with firecrackers one night at the market. It was the weirdest thing. It's like I sort of, but I could hear everything happen in front, and I'd even hear people in and pretend they were there to take me away legally, and I was very pretty. And Dan and Joe's, I think, rid of pets. And at the LaSalle lived a cat. I actually cat musk. I just possibly a cat. Well, you should. Her grandmother should be in there. So you say, how could you live like this 13 years? Well, you can't go around killing people. It's not legal. Now, if they kidnap me, that's a different story, and I'm not saying I'm going to kill them, but let's say it's a small plane. I told the cops, I said, if they kidnap me, that plane is going to fall out of the sky. If so, because I'm worth it. Now, I just heard... Hi, this is Lisa Guthrie. I'm at 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Washington, 981. And I had to make sure I'm laundry. And I heard a cat. And one might say, well, how did you live these... Well, when you have your shorts and you didn't take the vow of Satan, and the people who did actually, they see the invisible, and they can feel it. And they've used my chakras for really bad things, including, even if you don't believe it, it's for UFOs. And they've dragged people out of their body, which is one of their plots, including by black Nazis who want to run everything with the crack whores. So, how did people live in captivity with people being killed around them? And then you answer how I lived, and you say, did she try to save people? Yes, I did. Did she try to save animals? Yes, I did. And in fact, I wrote a police department or FBI letter about animal sacrifice to either the police department or both. And the police department, it's probably on thumb drive. And I wrote it about, I would hear Pike Place Market, that was before Pike Place Market. I would hear at Burt Gilman Place Apartments, I would hear animals being sacrificed and tortured. Or what I believed were animals being tortured and sacrificed. And there was a creepy, dirty cop in on the conspiracy, and I mean like an evil cop. He was a blonde guy, and he got on some funny gloves one day, and he visited me, And he acted like I was crazy because I'd written about a couple things or the police. And he said, you've been writing to an awful lot of agencies, like something. What done to me, it was like a scene out of the 1950s where people are blackballed and you can't believe it. People start showing up and trying to murder people because that person dared to speak out. And so they're snuffed, allegedly, by the FBI. You hear the whore? She's in the wall. So let's put it this way. Whenever you sacrifice animals, I'm going to have you in those animals to suffer, and your ancestors get suffering too. And they've got some catching up to do, because we know that America, it's the meat industry. So there you go. The evil spirits into the meat that I'm not eating. They're all cannibal zombies here anyway. But, if I don't eat it, I'm the only by the way, I'm probably the only non-cannibal. And they've tried to, and I just saw a spirit. Lots of them. And so you say, how did she survive? Did she try to save these animals, these people? Yes, I did. And so cop shows up with gloves one day because I'd been writing to an awful lot of agencies. He was blonde. He was not ugly. He was very stocky. He was built like a wrestler. I think when he was there, he actually realized I was sane. By the way, large chakra of the back and quite a lot, and it was painful. And they're playing Make Me a Medium. You should hear the curse I'm putting on. And so the Seattle Police Department also made it so I couldn't rescue people or animals. But the Dan and Joe's people and the fish people, the fish guys that are so considered so cute at throwing fish, oh, they're so wonderful. I woke up to a world of demonic, worshiping, satanic bastards 13, 12 years ago. And at the LaSalle apartments, like I said, though I didn't have any cats, I could smell cats. So I knew it had happened. Your mind can only take so much. And so you almost live as though you're crazy, but you don't dare admit to yourself that you're not. And you don't dare, it's like a meter. So you don't dare pretend you're crazy too long. So you're like a meter going like this. Admit that you're not crazy. So you sometimes you go here, you pretend you're crazy, you come back up. You don't want to stay in the pretend you're crazy too long. You don't want to stay in the I'm not crazy. So you stay there and you just kind of ignore. You try to tell the police department and then you go on. And then here's what the police department does. Because they're involved. So the police department tried to eliminate me for telling. And then I tried to contact, of course, like I said, the FBI, and then you've got dirty cops lying, pretending I'm an alcoholic. And I never was an alcoholic. I never was a drug addict. I smoked pot. It was not even I can't say I was like Cheech and Chong, but I did smoke pot. In fact, I didn't really like Cheech and Chong type guys because I realized, I don't want to be like that. I never liked the Grateful Dead. There's a spirit talking about oral. Anything bad. I have to pray now. It's time. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done as earth is in heaven. Please forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is kingdom, power, and the glory forever. Amen. And just know, everyone, cat. See, I don't have access to them. You just kill. Poor things. Hazy EN. So I have been trapped between also the paranormal and the normal, or so-called normal, mundane world. And once again, so I know it exists. These zombies didn't acknowledge it existed. So you're crazy. Live over here. Crazy. Come back up. Well, I'm acknowledging the paranormal, and the thing is, I have the right to, because why haven't they rounded up like those famous seers on TV, the psychics? One of the horrors thinks it's in power, and so you'll always hear this from the visibles. We are. Did I say to round her up? Am I giving anybody to these dirty fuckers? No. This is a real broadcast. And I can't let myself get afraid, and I can't stay in sadness too long. Well, I have to stay erect. I go to sadness and get mired down. I do go to anger, though. I go to anger, and it's so hypocritical. The zombies, you'll find zombies. They're not gentle Buddhists, which Buddhist is a pagan religion. Buddhism is pagan, so I don't even want to really comment too much on that. Because my ideals have changed so much. My philosophies have changed. And anyway, if you say, are you a Christian? Well, I believe in Christ. I always have, and I love God. But see, I'm alone. Because even if I say, I'm going to join a church, what's left for me in America? They're all zombies. So I have to sort of worship on my own anyway. And I'm too awed to worship, even if they were, well, maybe not. Actually, if it were some nice English village or some Italian village or even a Greek village, go to church every Sunday and a couple times. Yay, wonderful, beautiful. Beautiful, wonderful. Even if it's in a different language and I couldn't understand it. Beautiful still. Wonderful. But we're not talking nice people. We're talking zombies. So I don't even know what my experience would be at a church, especially since, I've talked about Marilyn. She's a blood at Elizabeth Gregory Home. Well, she goes to church and she's a volunteer. They're all psychopaths here. There's nothing left. I'm going to plug my device in. So the spirit world, the spirit world hi, this is Lisa Guthrie. I'm at 10507 Aurora Avenue, North, State of Washington, 98133. There's quite a lot of stuff going on, and you might think, well, gee, she sounds rather lilting about it. Well, the thing is, if I fall down to sadness and wailing and moaning, it's gone past what happened anyway. Why? What do I mean? Well, the Americans had access to the spirit world, and they ruined nature. So, I'd have to spend a lot of time wailing and screaming. I'm not being facetious. And if you're out there and you're in a country, you don't want me wailing and screaming. You want me like this. You don't want me to go. And even if I was thinking about today what would happen, because I've been threatened with starvation here, saying we'll sacrifice animals, we're going to torture your grandmother in the spirit world. Like one of the creeps, I think it might have been one of the black Nazis or allegedly the, evil cop. I've tortured for punish people. And these are evil scumbags. 9:35, and their horror. It's a horror in a Linda, and they're playing Shut Up That Medium. No, you're not going to shut me up. It's too late, bitches. zombies to be shut up. They actually need 8 operated on before they shut up. So if you can muster it, help me figure out why. So, I mean, it's not legal. So you have to curse them like they have. And now when I'm saying, I'd make a plane fall out of the sky, was I threatening terrorism? No, threatening me with kidnapping, and one of them threatened me with a plane. I'll make the plane crash. Simple as that. Would you rather be a slave and torture? What would you do? Like if some car or a truck and there's a bum whining. If you enhance the sound quality on the cell phone, I'm telling you, this broadcast, you would hear so much. If you think I'm crazy, just enhance it. So, if you were threatened with people tearing you into a car, what would you do? Would you rather start a 15 car pile up with us? You're going to get shot, and we're going to you're going to get shot, and they're going to do stuff with guns. Oh, and by the way, there was a bum today. I went on the E-line, I got on transfer, and then I thought, nah, that's kind of stocky to my right. And he was saying that he was a shooting manager. Basically, I was muttering back. I said, shut up. And Officer Bob just fall into or of wailing and crying. You want to stay up? You to oppose gang members. They'll just do more. You want me to tell you about black Nazis. Get my protein and, get out sun. And I would. I pinched the bottom or something. Satanists. And that's part of my tiredness. Person. It's prevented me from healing. They've also put curses on me so that I wouldn't heal into slavery threats and sometimes they'll. So let's say you've got people, they're terrorists themselves. So let's say you've got someone. Well, a lot of people would simply have walked out and said, yeah, okay. And there are whores and bums all the time. By the way, there's a bum in a car that is talking to the bum here. Bum car. Here's some of my notes. So the bums thought they some of my high school and I can write like if you look at all the notes I have to make, it's I feel very dispirited thinking about it. So this is rudimentary. The best thing I can say to everyone, but there's sometimes so many. I'm exhausted. So many threats. I'm just exhausted. Acting almost like I'm a chakra factory, and they were bragging about. Under the record, you could help me because there's been a witch hunt, and so what you need. The FBI has already been through that route, but have something to arm you, such as, hey, we enhanced it, we heard it without enhancing, and you're armed with the knowledge, and like you eligible, you heard it, you could even, I don't know about playing it back from Google, you could actually if you wanted to, and you're not, if there's anybody out there, I also would like to plead on, like, let's say if you're in a NATO country, I don't care what country now, whoever will take me, please, pass on people and will prostitute, set people up. Hopefully there's some up, there's over the last 13 years that of course, it's hard to pick yourself back up, including with constant terrorization. Constantly, I can't see my chakras. They just playing industry leaving. Excuse me, I have to curse them. And they just took more back, so they're tearing me to pieces. These are very difficult. try to rescue all the spirits, even in the USA. And do I love all the demons? Obviously, that's how these bums got tracked. My uterine, she's in the wall. And then the other trap, a wall near the back. So to trap door connecting to swiveling them that to even like a bath of acid. Once you first, their premise is because, and one of them is because of now the P that they would. So one of the bums here. By the way, I'm going to re-identify myself. I'm at 10507 Aurora. I was talking to somebody, and he said, "Sleep with her, get her powerful." I don't like black men. I'm not attracted to them. I'm not attracted to zombies. I'm not attracted to any Americans. I don't want anyone ever again. So there's nobody force rape. And these bums, by the way, I was talking about, but see, I don't know where this tape is being chopped up. Obviously, it's not videotape, physical tape. These bums, like one of them, torturing green eyes. Now, what they try to do is torture people so that things like cats or other animals, so that they be an evil spirit in the spirit watching them. They'll torture them and even play like tortured down to the last atom kind of games. And so you basically did hear a moron threatening me. He said, especially green eyes. It might be one of either Dr. Jaffe's or Officer Bobby's retarded sons. And then there was a whore with them. And above the door was talking about if you sleep with her, you're going to be a scummy, gross zombie. And you're going to be recognized as a scummy, gross zombie. So the bum, and I'm going to say, he was saying, if you sleep with her, one of them saying, cut off her arm. I've heard all this kind of shit for 13 years. One of them stated, if you sleep with her, you'll he's calling them balls. They won't. They're zombies. Not green zombies, and that's what they'll be recognized as. So, excellent way to be recognized as a gross creep. Of Satan. Satan's bitch morons. Not secreting myself all the time. I'm taking back my right to, because I at first do Elizabeth Gregory. It's I've had the last 13 years, and after scratched and if I were face makeup, it would be the girl. It'll just, you come with me, you would just look like scars covering up. They look like. So you live rugged. I would have last year, but I was looking at boots today. Cheap ones to slip around it. So I wear rugged jeans. Rugged. And now there's plaster on the wall, so that's coming off. They just. But I'm talking about, well, I'm in Unit 329. Talk about hideous neighbors and we're a police department. It's a huge, big conspiracy. Getting tired. I just drank coffee. Now, I was talking about how, like, this is the Nike swoosh. The Nike swoosh. The neighbors want to break in and steal things like that. And they're all, even a victim of identity and humiliating them. Like the dirty cop was in on, you're not going to have clothes kind of thing. and you're going to buy every grocery. Ripping, my back hurts quite badly. Well, it's an ache. It's a dull ache. It's not very pleasant. Now, here's the relation. That's the relationship with the neighbors. Eat my dinner. I have where people have put glass. So I will be back on broadcasting. I can just now. There's a bum playing complimentary. It just, the yapping goes on and on. So if you want to start cursing the U.S. and a good way, how just destroy it and destroy the brains. You could start praying.